Coming up next, hundreds outside a Pennsylvania restaurant protest Israel's bombing of Gaza, and what they chanted has the governor angry and reacting.
Plus, Hanukkah begins this week, with Center County Jews reflecting on the holiday in a time of war.
This year has special significance because of the bringing of light to darkness.
And a special day for kids with cancer and their families as they have a chance to finally smile and have some fun.
They've just been so supportive and welcoming, and I've really found my place here.
The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Angelica Rubin.
And I'm Tim Rogers. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the latest developments in the Israel-Hamas war. Israel's military intensified its bombing in and around Gaza's second largest city today. It's been calling for more evacuations in southern Gaza as it widens its offensive against Hamas. The war has killed thousands and displaced more than 3/4 of Gaza's 2.3 million residents. Hopes for another truce have faded after Israel called its negotiators home over the weekend. Meantime, the International Red Cross president visited Gaza and called the civilians suffering there intolerable. Back at home, protesters marching in Philadelphia against Israel's Gaza bombing chanted about genocide on Sunday outside an Israeli restaurant. That led to Governor Josh Shapiro to call the demonstration anti-Semitic. Hundreds protested in the two city neighborhoods, but it's unclear why the crowd targeted that specific restaurant named Goldie Falafel. The two owners are Jewish.
Amid Israel-Hamas tensions, some Hanukkah events set for later this week have been canceled across the U.S. Reporter Jesse Wynn is live in our studio with more. Jesse?
Angelica, it's an emotional holiday this year for Jews around the world as Israel remains engaged in a bloody war against Hamas after the militant group's October attack on the country. Hanukkah begins this week, and the 8-day holiday festival of lights has special meaning to the Jewish community during this dark time.
Thursday marks the start of Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of lights. This year, it happens while Israel is at war.
I think this year has special significance because of the bringing of light to darkness, and given that in the last couple of months we've been in a dark time, it's important to bring as much light into the world as we can.
Events are scheduled this week in State College.
For every night of Hanukkah, Hillel will have a traditional candle lighting event here at the Gutterman Family Center. There will also be traditional food like potato latkes and jelly donuts, as well as games and a party on Saturday's celebration.
But amid worldwide tensions over the Israel-Hamas war, some Hanukkah celebrations have been canceled, including one in Williamsburg, Virginia. Organizers said it didn't seem appropriate. In other places, menorahs won't be lit, but Rabbi Rob Gleiser says here in Center County, events will go on, with people fully understanding what's happening in Israel and Gaza.
Every Jewish person walking through their lives, holding on to a Jewish identity, has a relationship with Israel. And so when Israel is at war, their identities, our identities, are affected constantly. And so it's not whether or not it will affect our Hanukkah celebrations, it is how will it affect our Hanukkah celebration.
But calling off Hanukkah is not an option for Hillel.
We're inspired and obligated to celebrate, and honor the Jewish calendar, and so that's what we will do.
You can see scheduled events celebrating Hanukkah this week and throughout next week on the Penn State Hillel website. I'm Jesse Wynn. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Jesse. Part of Half Moon Township is under a boil water advisory after a water main break over the weekend. The break happened on Smith Road, and although repairs are done, the order is in place as a precaution while they do daily water testing. Now, here are the areas that have been affected: Centennial Hills and Marengo Roads, McIntosh Court, Winesap and Doe Drives, Buckhorn Road, Ike Circle, Tom's Lane, James Hill Road, and parts of Smith and Half Moon Valley Roads. And a cyber attack on a Pennsylvania Water Authority has 3 PA members of Congress asking the Justice Department to investigate how it happened. The hack on the agency in Aliquippa last month forced workers to stop pumping in a station that regulates water pressure for 2 nearby towns. The nation's top cyber defense agency is now warning other water and sewage treatment utilities they may also be vulnerable because it says others around the nation were also hacked recently by groups affiliated with Iran. We reached out to the State College Borough Water Authority for a comment and information, but it did not return our calls or emails.
PennDOT is closing a central PA bridge for repairs starting next week. The bridge across Chess Creek along 5 Point Road in Clearfield County will close next Monday. It'll be shut down into mid-January while crews repair steel beams. This is one of the bridges rated as poor on the state's list. A detour will take drivers on Route 36, Bridge Street, and Ridge Road. A new $70 million hospital medical facility is under construction in Patton Township. Penn Highlands State College is set to open next summer after the project broke ground in the spring of 2022. Health system officials offered media and township representatives a sneak peek inside the building recently on Colonnade Boulevard near Sheetz and Cracker Barrel. This will be Penn Highlands Healthcare's 9th hospital and the first system built from scratch since 2011.
The latest Republican presidential debate is set for tomorrow night. It will be held at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Donald Trump won't be there, but he remains the favorite to win the Republican nomination. Expected to be on stage tomorrow, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Pennsylvania is trying to help voters in next year's election avoid mistakes that would invalidate their mail-in ballots. Governor Josh Shapiro's administration is asking counties to start using standard instructions on how to complete ballots, along with other steps. Our state is again expected to play a key role in the presidential race. The primary election is April 23rd.
A new grant program looks to help businesses in downtown State College and around the local area. Our Brendan Conroy has more on what it means.
The State College Downtown Improvement District has announced a new grant program plan to help businesses make improvements. The program will launch in early 2024 and will allow businesses to apply for funding needed for renovations.
We really saw a need for some businesses to have a small amount of funding. Maybe if they want to do some facade improvements or interior renovations.
With plans for this action dating back to last year, the grants can directly help local shops. The State College Downtown Improvement District right behind me is giving out $50,000 in grants ranging from $1,000 to $5,000 per business. Businesses on Atherton, Sowers, and College Avenue are all able to apply. I was able to speak with one business owner who's very excited about this opportunity.
The DID has been here helping us along, navigating some of those changes. You know, we're a small business in a town that's rapidly growing and developing.
Officials say applying for the grants are easy. True says he already plans to use any potential funding on making a better space and entrance for all customers.
You know, one of the things we're looking at here for the front of our shop is, you know, potentially creating a better pedestrian throughway, because there's only about 48 inches of space between the tree and the front of our shop.
The funds from each grant will look to improve not only the shops, but the whole downtown atmosphere as well.
It's going to benefit all of downtown in terms of visual appearance, economic development, visitation. So we're excited to launch it next year.
Jeffrey says a number of businesses have already reached out with interest in the program. In State College, I'm Brendan Conroy for the Center County Report.
While that's good news for downtown businesses, there's another local business story that's not as positive. We're just learning the cafe inside the State College Airport is permanently closing this Saturday. The Up, Up and Away Cafe says budget tightening and less flights going in and out of the airport led to the decision. It opened at the airport in April.
Now, still to come on the Center County Report, could we see any snow this week? Our 7-day forecast is coming up.
And it's a very busy time for Penn State football, from the bowl to the portal to a new coordinator. Also coming up, Thawn's annual family carnival came to State College, bringing lots of smiles. That and more after the break. Penn State Thawn hosted its annual family carnival this weekend, an annual event welcoming 4 Diamonds families back to Happy Valley. I take a look at just how much this event means for kids with cancer and their families. Dancing, games, and family fun. The annual Thawn Family Carnival brought kids, families, and students together on Sunday. It's a celebration of Thawn, Penn State's annual dance marathon that raises money to support pediatric cancer patients. This year, the focus is on the past and the family that started Thawn.
Our theme is Conquer the Quest. We went back to our roots with the story of Chris Millard and the Four Diamonds, so we kind of just wanted to honor him in that sense.
Four Diamonds families had a chance to join competitions on stage, make crafts, and spend time with volunteers. Volunteers say this is one of the few Thawn events that is not a fundraiser. Instead, it's focused on families having fun and prioritizing strong relationships and connections with the Thawn Foundation.
It makes it so much more special to know that there's smiling faces and that we're helping the families in a more emotional way than a financial way.
Braden Flegel and his family are paired with Phi Sigma Pi. It's his first time at the carnival.
All the activities have been so much fun. I just made a castle out of marshmallows and spaghetti with my brothers and my org.
Joe Petruska is part of Penn State Club Croquet.
It's not even about just like playing croquet itself, but actually like interacting with our family and being able to fundraise for them and support them.
Flegel is now a student at Penn State World Campus and says his goal is to one day work for Four Diamonds.
All of the Thawn volunteers here, but then also at World Campus for Thawn and student government and the whole way up to President Bendapudi and like everybody in between. They've just been so supportive and welcoming, and I've really found my place here.
This year's Thawn will take place February 16th through 18th at the Bryce Jordan Center. Now here's Jeremy with the weather.
Thank you, Angelica, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm student meteorologist Jeremy Laguerre here for your forecast and taking a look above Penn State campus. Taking a look above Beaver Stadium this afternoon, we are looking at gray skies. It's very cloudy out there right now, and really it's going to stay like this for most of the week, honestly. 36 degrees right now here in State College with feels like temperature of 29. Winds out from the west at 9 miles an hour, making it feel a little bit cooler than it already is. Now taking a look at our weather headlines for this upcoming week. Overnight snow. We do have a chance of snow for this evening. We can warm up. Now temperatures are going to warm up. They're in the 30s and 40s now, but they're going to warm up as we go into the weekend to at least the 50s. But that warm up is going to come with some showers, unfortunately, for Sunday. Now taking a look at our temperatures here in the Commonwealth, currently we're in the 30s and 40s, slightly warmer temperatures to our southeast, places like Harrisburg and Philadelphia at 44 degrees right now. And taking a look at our radar, we do have some snow moving into the state from the west. As you can see, places like Pittsburgh, places like Johnstown are beginning to see that snow-rain mix move into the area, and that's going to move into the entire state as we go into this evening. Taking a look at the bigger picture, you can see we have a lot of this activity coming from places like Ohio and Indiana. And like I said, that's going to begin to move into our area this evening. Going into this evening, we'll see a few snow flurries, maybe a little bit of rain to our south. But overall, we're worried about just a little bit of snow this evening. And that snow will continue into the night and into tomorrow, where we may get a stray snow or rain shower. And then as we go into Thursday, we'll clear up for a little bit. But then Thursday morning, we're going to see the snow move into our area. And even though it seems like it's going to be snowing a lot throughout the next few days, it really isn't going to amount to much. Taking a look at our accumulations, we're expecting anywhere from maybe 1 inch up in the northwestern portion of the state, but across most of the state, they're not even going to hit an inch of snow over the next few days. Here in State College, we're expecting only 0.3 inches. Now, as we take a look at the big picture going into this weekend, Friday and Saturday are a pretty similar day with suns and clouds around, and we're not expecting any rain for those days. But as we go into Sunday, however, that's when the rain is going to move into our area, part of a very large system affecting the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, and there may be some snow on the back end of that system, but for the most part, we're really just concerned about the rain. But for today here in State College, 38 degrees the expected high, cloudy with a chance of snow late. We're going to drop down to below freezing tonight with light snow on and off throughout the night, a low of 31 degrees. And as we go into tomorrow, a high of 37 degrees, cloudy skies with that chance of snow and rain around. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, we're going to be staying pretty wintry this week with chances on and off snow or rain as we go throughout the week. The good news is by the weekend, we're going to warm up to the 50s, but unfortunately that warm up is going to be coming with some rain showers for Sunday.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. I'm not a fan of the rain. If it's going to be this cold, let it snow.
I agree, Tim. Let it snow, especially as we move into the holiday season.
And especially with this not so great weather, I want to go indoors. I want to stay indoors, maybe watch a hockey game or a basketball game, right? So let's take it to Mac Young with sports.
Feel the same way, Tim. Coming up in sports, a 2-game series against a top 10 ranked hockey team. We have more from Hockey Valley. Also, Penn State's men's basketball team is in a funk and on a 4-game losing streak. What's next for this team? We check in at the BJC. I'm Mac Young with sports. It's a busy holiday season for Penn State football. The Nittany Lions are Peach Bowl bound. Signing day is approaching. The transfer portal is open, and there's a new offensive coordinator in town. This team also has a chance to do something that no other football team has ever done. The Nittany Lions had a season of exciting highs and crushing lows. For the second straight year, the Nittany Lions have finished the regular season with a record of 10-2. Now, Penn State will play in its first ever Peach Bowl against Ole Miss of the SEC. Coach Lane Kiffin of the Rebels sees this game as a great recruiting opportunity.
Anytime that your players are having success on the field and doing well, helps you in recruiting.
Meanwhile, the Nittany Lions are dealing with lots of moving parts, the potential player opt-outs, and the recent hiring of new offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki. The former Kansas OC will offer explosive play calling in 2024, but Penn State coach James Franklin says not to expect Kotelnicki to call plays right away.
Andy will be here more just taking everything in, getting a feel for how we operate, the culture, very similar to when we hired Manny.
Penn State will look to snap a 3-game losing streak to SEC opponents in bowl games December 30th at noon in Atlanta. And some breaking news on Penn State football. Defensive end Chopper Robinson says he is opting out of the bowl game to prepare for the NFL draft. Penn State, on the meantime, will look to become the first team to win every New Year's Six bowl if they can beat Ole Miss in Atlanta. We'll have a broadcast team there for the game, and you can listen live on Penn State Com Radio on December 30th. Now, former Penn State quarterback Trace McSorley is back in the Keystone State. He signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been added to the practice squad following an ankle injury to starting QB Kenny Pickett. McSorley spent the summer with the New England Patriots and had a brief stint on the Chicago Bears practice squad. And another former Nittany Lion made an impact on the gridiron last night on Monday Night Football. Wide receiver Parker Washington got his first touches during the Jacksonville Jaguars-Cincinnati Bengals game. The former 6th-round pick had 6 catches for 61 yards, including a great touchdown on a deflected pass. But the Bengals won the game 34-31. Penn State Wrestling began its national title defense over the weekend. The Lions took on Lehigh at home. Alyssa Wagner has the highlights.
Penn State Wrestling defeated Lehigh 30-10 in front of a sold-out Rec Hall for its first dual meet of the season. The team is coming off yet another undefeated season and the team's 10th national championship in 12 years. Returners like Bo Barlett, Levi Haynes, and Greg Kirkfleet all won their bouts, while the newcomers handled business as well.
So there's so many people in there, it's loud, you got people cheering, like just the energy overall with teammates and the crowd is just, it's unreal, it's amazing.
And the match was highlighted by a Carter Storace pin.
And he's got a lot of experience. He's just a hard-nosed, tough Pennsylvania kid, that's been wrestling at a high level, so.
The Nittany Lions will take on Hofstra next. In University Park, I'm Alyssa Wagner for the Center County Report.
Next up for Penn State is a duel against Hofstra next Sunday afternoon at Rec Hall. The Penn State men's hockey team heads on the road this week after splitting a series against 7th-ranked Minnesota over the weekend at Pagula. They lost Friday 4-1, but rebounded with a strong 6-3 win on Saturday. Now it's on to Wisconsin. The Badgers are the 6th-ranked team in the nation. Penn State is now 9-5-3 on the season. After this weekend's game, they'll take their holiday break until January. Now to basketball. The Lady Lions are now ranked at number 25 nationally. That may not last long. They were upset last night at West Virginia 83-65. It's the Mountaineers' first win against the Lions since 1989. The Penn State men's team heads to Maryland for a game tomorrow night. They were also upset over the weekend by Bucknell. John Calavita has more on that.
Heading into Saturday's non-conference game against Bucknell, the Nittany Lions were 20-point favorites according to FanDuel Sportsbook. But on the court, you'd never know it. Penn State led 33-27 at the half, but faltered down the stretch. The Bison took the lead with 2:50 to go and finished the game on a 15-5 scoring run. Bucknell outscored Penn State 49-34 in the second half and handed the Nittany Lions their 4th straight loss. Now, the blue and white were missing a few key players, but it's hard to beat a team that shoots close to 50% from 3. Jameel Brown, Demetrius Lilly, and Favor Irie were all out of the rotation. but Coach Mike Rhodes took accountability for the team's recent poor play.
No excuses. We got to be better. It's on me. It's on me to help these guys be better.
Senior transfer Puff Johnson agreed with his coach and talked about the urgency to turn the season around.
I've been on my fair share of losing streaks, and it's not fun. And I mean, losing can become a habit, and that's one that we don't want to have happen.
Penn State was 7-1 entering Big Ten play this time last year, and they'll need to improve their late-game mojo if they want to compete as conference play opens. In University Park, I'm John Calavita for the Center County Report.
The Nittany Lions are now 4-4 and begin Big Ten play tomorrow night at Maryland, then return home to face Ohio State on Saturday. Look, Penn State men's basketball might be struggling, but Angelica, how about Penn State women's volleyball, we didn't mention, surging in the NCAA tournament?
That's right. They are in the Sweet 16, and they're still on a roll.
Yeah, it's super impressive what they're doing. And just to add off of Penn State men's hockey, they feel like they can beat anybody right now. Going to Ann Arbor a few weeks ago, splitting that series, and then splitting Minnesota. Truly awesome to watch Penn State athletics right now. But coming up next, the holiday spirit is all over Pennsylvania. Find out how one central PA town put on a celebration for all this past weekend.
It's a busy time for holiday festivals across central PA. Boalsburg held its annual hometown Christmas celebration over the weekend at the Diamond in the center of town. There were carolers in the street, a visit from Santa, the lighting of a very big Christmas tree, and of course lots of yummy food. Thanks to the Boalsburg Fire Company for these photos of the event. Looks like a lot of fun.
And that's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
But you can always follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.